yet. You can't hide. We're live, right?
Yeah, we are. 10 seconds in.
Yeah, 10 seconds in. Oh, you know what? Let me just look at mine. I'm not going to share it. I just want to see.
Yep. So what's up, everybody? Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's a little different tonight, so just sit back. We got some news for you.
Yeah. It's just Ty and I on tonight, and we won't be on for that long. We just have an announcement, a couple of announcements to make. So we will be live with our regular scheduled program next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But with a slightly different format that we're really excited about, which is why one of the reasons why we are not going live tonight. But we did want to come out and just say thank you to everybody who has watched, shared, liked, comment, whether you agreed or you disagreed with what the conversation the conversation that was being had. The fact that you take the time and spend some time with us, we really appreciate it. And we cannot thank you enough. And it's allowing us to do more. One of the things that I'm happy to announce is that we're not only broadcasting live on Facebook, we are also live on YouTube, our Twitter channel, our Twitter page is up. We have an Instagram page now, and we have some more to come because this is growing, and it wouldn't grow without you. So we really appreciate it.
We even have TikTok. What's that about? Like, I feel like I'm way too old for TikTok, but whatever, we're on it.
Yeah. I honestly didn't know that until just now. So we have a TikTok apparently, and I've never been on TikTok, but I guess I have to figure out what that is.
Oh my God, it's scary, man. I feel like I'm like wading into like deep waters. Don't know what I'm looking for.
And we also have some more assistance that's going to help with the show. That's going to help produce the show in different ways. And you'll see a slightly different format next week, and the conversation will be good. I did want to address. Got asked a very interesting question, and that was, how long are you all going to continue to do this show? And I thought about it because the reason why we started having these conversations is we were doing a show that we do for fun that's also coming back next Tuesday, where we talk about comics and comic book movies. We used to call it our nerd show because we didn't have a better title for it. The incident that changed the world really happened to Mr. George Floyd, and it was affecting us so much that we decided to get on and have a conversation about it. And hey, Drea, hey, Megan, what's up, Kiara? What's up back there? Sorry, I'm just looking over at the comments, and they're like, yeah, with TikTok, you might go down a rabbit hole. So we got on because of what happened with George Floyd, and we wanted to have a conversation about it. We wanted to let people that were on the panel's voices be heard, and people who were in the chat let their voices be heard. And then we just kept going, and we've talked about a lot of different subjects. Hey, Joseph and Vianney, I'm just going to assume that it's both of you. Hey, Shamika, thank you for coming on. Somebody said, how long you going to keep this going? And I was a little taken back by it because my response was, what's changed? And I know we have Ancient Mama is gone. Uncle Ben is gone. Walmart's no longer locking up black hair care products. Juneteenth is being celebrated. Apparently, they're going to sing the Black National Anthem at some NFL games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Statues are being torn down. But that's not really what people are asking for. And if you it pisses me off, and Ty and I have had this conversation. It pisses Ty off more than it pisses me off, by the way. Like, he gets really heated about this, but it pisses me off.
I do.
Because it's like, great, but can we have justice for Breonna? Can we have justice for uh, insert the name of an individual? And what really pisses me off is that nothing has changed. There's still Black people who are being murdered today by the police, and then sometimes you just don't get to hear about it because we've heard so much. It's almost like you can't keep up. And there's no laws that have been changed yet. There's no legislation. There's conversations about it, but it's still the same. And so when I get asked like how long are you gonna do the show, I said, hey man, like how long is it gonna take before we actually get something like real that's gonna change, that's gonna make it safe for me and safe for people that look like me. Because if you're telling me that you're doing all these things as um, a also or Ty, how did I say that earlier?
Instead of.
Yeah, like if you're doing this as an instead of, like it pisses me off and you can kick rocks so you can go to hell. Like, hey, instead of giving you social justice, we'll give you, no more Aunt Your Mama and we won't lock up your Black hair care products. If you're doing this as a also, and we are also going to do this because we know it's wrong, I'm all for it. I'm not against tearing down statues. I'm not against racist imagery or practices that are getting ended. I'm not against that at all. But there are people who are still dying. There's a report that came out from the Washington Post, and John Sanders, this young man whose mother was on this program, who lost his eye, he was in this story, and it was about the amount of people who lost their eye because they were shot in the face at a protest by the police. That's crazy that one day there were like a lot of people who lost, who were changed moving forward, and what's happened because of it. It feels like every week I see a video of an officer misusing their power, of citizens misusing their power to instigate, to interrogate, and um, to end Black lives. And so we won't stop doing the show. We're going to continue to let their voices be heard. We're going to continue to push to want you to interact in the chat. We have people who have been with us, for a while, and we appreciate it. We hope you stick and ride this out because we're going to keep having this conversation. We're going to get louder, and we're going to go into topics that we probably haven't even gone into yet, because we have to keep it in the limelight. It scares me that we're just one crisis away from people forgetting that this is a thing. And then I go back to, terrified when the police are behind me or not hearing about the injustices that happen to Black and brown people across the country, because that was yesterday's story. We're going to do our best to make sure that these things keep in the limelight. And I know we don't have the biggest of followings or maybe the loudest of voices, but we're going to continue to try to force to make sure that ours and others like us voices are heard. There are some important conversations that need to be had, and we will have them. So I hope you stick it out with us. We're going to have some great shows coming up. Next week, we will be talking about the Amy Cooper versus Christian Cooper scenario that is playing out right now, and how this has been historically a thing that has continued to happen, where typically white women have used their privilege and weaponized it in a way to cause harm to an individual or individuals, and how dangerous that is for us in the past and even today. So next week, we're going to have a really interesting conversation. We have a lineup that we will be putting out with what we'll be talking about over the next few weeks. As I said, there's been some changes of how we're going to operate and run the show. I'm really excited. I'm excited because the same people that's been here are still going to continue to be here. So you still see JD representing Ohio, Drea, I'm pretty sure, is going to come back on from Jacksonville, North Kakalaki. Jessica, she or just Jess, she'll still be on with us from Cali, and we're going to continue to bring on new voices as well. So I'm really excited. We appreciate every single one of you who have been on this journey with us and has allowed us to share our voice with you, share our thoughts with you, share our hearts with you, and we won't stop. So we appreciate it. Please, we're going to get better at announcing what we're going to be doing moving forward. So when you see that, please share with folks. We're going to have more comments throughout the week inside of our We Are Not OK page. So we're going to try to make sure that we keep this conversation going loud. We're going to make sure that we keep it positive. When I say positive, I just mean, you know how we are, like there's no disrespect. You're allowed to have any viewpoint you want. You just can't disrespect the people that are on the panel or who are in the chat, or you will be removed. But it's going to be a good time. So thank you all for rocking with us. We look forward to seeing you all next week. Tuesday, if you really want to see something interesting, just come on. We're going to be live on Tuesday with our nerd show. We will have a better name for it by Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we'll be back to our regular scheduled program. So I appreciate your patience. I really do. Thank you guys very much. From Ty, JD, Just Jess, myself, Will, who's the man who's usually in the background, is offering like more information, and an unknown that you might not know, but it's another gentleman that's working on this named Ray. We cannot thank you enough. We genuinely, truly appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Peace and God bless.